Poo-poo goes in the nappy. Poo-poo goes in the potty. Poo-poo goes in the toilet. We need to learn the lot.
Hello guys! I know I spend a lot of time on this show talking about strange internet mysteries, but today I want to talk about me, as after all this is my channel, I can do what I want. And I want to talk about my experience with Kevin Hart, who quite honestly changed my life. When I was growing up, me and my family didn't really have that much money. This isn't unique to people from South Africa. Aside from food and housing, maybe once every 3 months you're lucky if you get to go to Panarottis or something as a treat. But for the most part, it's kind of penny pinching. And if you're a South African on you who's saying, well, my childhood wasn't like that, congrats, your daddy was rich. Good for you. Like, what do you want, a medal? Anyway, I digress. Like I said, a meal out was a luxury. So when I heard about Kevin Hart coming to Cape Town, I didn't necessarily have my hopes very high to go see him. Me and my sister were both huge fans. Obviously, he's Kevin Hart, international celebrity superstar, known all around the world in every single household. The overwhelming majority of his movies very funny, and almost all of his stand-up I've seen made me die laughing. So when I asked and begged and pleaded with my mother to let me go see him, she obviously said we'll see what we can do, before dropping the biggest bombshell on me I've ever experienced. Because my mumsy knew that Kevin Hart was coming to Cape Town months in advance, and between her and my father saved and scrounged whatever they could to make sure me and my sister could go. Which, looking back on it, has me a little bit tearful. That was so sweet of them. And when they surprised us with these tickets, to say I was happy isn't even a quarter of what I felt. I could have spear tackled a wild gazelle and ate it alive. That's how much energy and excitement I had in me. It was undescribable. But the show was only in a few months' time. So in those months before he played the Grand West, which is a big casino, I binge watched everything related to the man. His specials, his movies, his series, even some of his YouTube videos. Just so I could get some of him while I was waiting. And finally, after months of waiting, the day rolled round. We loaded up into my mum's car and she drove us. She dropped us off near the front entrance and me and my sister walked the rest of the way. Crowds of people were gathering. There were a lot of Cape Townians going to go see this show. It was his what now tour that he himself had been hyping up for years as a completely new set with completely new jokes. We went past security and got our tickets at the front door and then proceeded to enter a beautiful sight. Scores of people, happy, drinking, laughing, everyone excited. You could feel that there was no tension in the air, just hope. It took us a long time to get up those stairs as we were way up there. Like I said, money was an issue. But when we sat down, oh god, I wish I could describe the feeling in my heart. All this build-up had me absolutely convulsing. I was sat in my chair going, trying to stay calm. And you know what? I was feeling so confident and excited, in fact, that I actually went down when my sister told me to go get drinks. Obviously Coca-Cola. And managed to order 2 beers. Now keep in mind, I was only 15 or 16 at the time, so I really tried my luck. And I managed not to get ID'd. After getting the drinks, I ran straight back up, handed my sister one and said, now we're gonna enjoy the show in style. And boom. The lights dimmed. Everyone got real quiet. The announcer came on stage as MC and introduced Kevin Hart's opening act, the solo Red Cup Boys, or whatever the hell they were called. Admittedly, the name was not at all catchy. But in spite of that, every single one of those guys who got on that stage slayed. I was in stitches and crying. I will never for the life of me remember the oak's name, but he had one bit about getting a hand job and it feeling like a motorbike pedal, and that was just hysterical to me. Boom, 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 they all come on, they all warm everyone up, everyone's rearing, and the lights go down again. The MC tells us, I want to remind you all not to record any of this performance, and then introduces on the man of the hour, Kevin Hart! My eardrums were ringing from the noise of 1,000 people screaming. People up and down, cheering, arms in the air. He took that mic in his hand, he looked at everybody, said, good evening, Cape Town. And then Kevin Hart was absolutely dog shit. He fucking sucked, dude. He sucked balls. Almost all of his jokes were landing lukewarm to flat. I don't think there was once a roaring laugh. It was kind of like a polite chuckle at best. Like Kevin would go, what you think about that, guys? And everyone just kind of politely goes, ah, yeah, this sucks, right? For what felt like 2 to 15 hours, Kevin just went on and on and on. I felt offended. I felt personally attacked. I think he knew that I was there and he was like, man, I'm just gonna make this the shittest performance I've ever done in my life. I'm gonna tell all of either my new material which blows or a bunch of material which I wrote and I know it blows. I just want these people to have a terrible time. Oh, mate, it was like devastating. All of this build-up I had in my head, all of this praise I had for like my hero, just evaporated. I started off with a smile to a frown, and then to disappointment, and then to sadness. Maybe he remembers it differently, because I imagine the laughs sound even louder when you're only 5 foot, but bro, it just, nah, I couldn't cope with it. I didn't really have a cell phone, so I spent most of my time playing with my fingers and thumbs, listening to him go on and on about this one reoccurring bit he did throughout his entire performance, which was a monkey with a gun. I still don't get the joke. Hammering that joke down 1, 2, 3 for reset, and even finishing off with it. You're saying to yourself, but how did he change your life then? Well, Kevin taught me a very valuable lesson that day. Building things up in your mind and hyping up things that you have yet experienced is a very good way to be disappointed. And this applies to every facet of life. I personally hype myself up as a really cool YouTube guy, but I've also conditioned my mind that if this channel ever falls flat, whatever. It shouldn't be the one thing that I build up over and over and over again and then get crushed when it fails. You set yourself up for a huge heartbreak if you live your life by that way. Instead of enjoying the present, those months leading up to Kevin Hart was all I was consumed by. I was so focused on what was coming up that I neglected my current life. And I'd like to remind you, you are dying. We are dying. We are all going to die. You only have so many finite days on Earth. So always waiting for what's going to happen next is not a good way to live. Because you might, in my case specifically, be hyping up this guy you've never met only to be severely disappointed. I learnt the lesson of living in the present with him. Nothing will ever be as good as you put it up to be. And you just don't want to hurt yourself unnecessarily. But aside from that, I also learnt that Americans have really fucking annoying accents. If there's a Yank in the comment, can you please tell me which part of the country is this accent from? Which part of your people talk like the Munchkin clan? We love our guns. We love our guns. We love our guns, America. Because at some point between Kevin coming on stage and the lights dimming, 3 Americans, I'm assuming they were like his producers or something, shuffled up in front of me and my sister, and I had to listen to their voices the entire performance. Kevin is doing much better on this tour. Yeah, the last show was a little bit sloppy. Shall we go get dinner after this? Yeah. I'm not a violent person, but that was the first time in my life I was tempted to jump up and drop kick people in the corp. How can you live with that voice and not want to shoot someone? Oh mate, it was insufferable. It was so frustrating to listen to. There are some bad accents out there, but that is the worst. Anyways, that's all I have to say, guys. Kevin, you owe me and my family money. A lot of it. Send it to me, or I will send my Rottweiler after you. He'll probably mistaken you for a 3-year-old child, so fair game.
4-year-old spotted! Pitbull!
Legally, you have to subscribe. Love you all very much. Bye-bye.